We got Benito Lopez back here on the program. He's going to be taking on Manny Bermudez at UFC on ESPN 1 on February 17th. Benito, what's up, man? How are you?
Good, man. How you doing? Thanks for having me on once again. I appreciate it.
Hey, well, I appreciate you taking the time, man. It's good to hear your voice again. You look a little bit different. We were talking about this off air. You got the beard going right now. What prompted that? Just trying to look a little bit older or what?
Yeah, man. Honestly, I like never really was able to grow it, and the last year it started coming out, and I was like, maybe I should embrace my inner manhood, you know? So I've been trying to kind of let it come out a little more. I might rock it for this fight. I'm still not 100% sure, but I might go from being baby man face, this next fight.
I was gonna say you got to change up your personality then too. You can be like evil Benito Lopez, like Wario to Mario, right? That'd be kind of
I don't
interesting.
know about evil, but something,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah, it would be kind of interesting there. Yeah, 2018, man. I know it was rough on you. You didn't get to fight at all. You were supposed to fight Ricky Simone at UFC 227 before an ankle injury. We were actually supposed to do an interview, and then that injury ended up happening. How did you suffer the injury, and how long was the recovery time on that?
Man, so we were only a few weeks out from that fight. I was feeling great. That's been one of my rivals for a long time now. Me and Ricky is supposed to fight a few different times, and just shit keeps happening, man. But I was working mitts with my boxing coach, Coach Joey, one of my striking coaches, and we were working a combo. We were gonna hit on the fight. I'll say it because I still plan on hitting it when I fight him eventually. And we were working on being long, and we were working on I was throwing like a double jab cross pulling and coach level changing her coming forward and me throwing a flying knee. And I've been working on my flying knees a lot, angling the knee, pointing my toe, and getting some air on it as well, trying to get the finish for this next fight. And I landed completely on my side of my foot. Like I landed completely on the side from going and turning my hip over. Like it was just like I don't know, really unfortunate it happened, but it swelled up bad. I couldn't walk for like weeks. It was like, man, I didn't want to believe that I was gonna have to pull out, but like I couldn't walk, and then I was trying to toughen it out for like a week, and I just couldn't walk or do anything. And Ricky's a high level wrestler. He's a good fighter, like I respect him. Like we have our beef, whatever, but he's a good fighter and he's a winner, so I have to be prepared and have to be stable on both legs.
Now, when were you cleared to return? Like, when were you looking to fight? Was it right around this time, or were you looking to fight before? Because I find it interesting that Ricky's fighting the card before, basically, at UFC 234, and you're fighting, the week after.
Bro, this is the weirdest thing too. Yeah, so I was planning on fighting. I was trying to fight in December on the John Jones card. I was trying to get on that. I didn't get on it. I was trying to get on the Anaheim card, and I did get on there. And a series of unfortunate events happened there, and I couldn't get on there. But originally, Uriah Faber, who's like my manager in Tabriz, they were asking for Ricky, and our response was he wasn't available. He was injured or something. I don't know. And that was our response. So I was like, all right, well, then Manny, the two guys who had called me out, I want to fight. So, I mean, maybe after this fight, when me and Manny settle our little beef we got going on, me and Ricky could finally handle it.
I wasn't aware there's a beef here. What's going on with you and Manny? You guys are so nice. I wouldn't imagine there's any
Yeah,
beef at all.
honestly, yeah, we're both super chill. Like, we're not really one to talk crap, like, both of us, I can tell. He called me out on the mic, and it kind of just been all downhill from there. Like, after
Okay,
his last
gotcha.
fight,
I think I missed
yeah,
that.
he had his adrenaline going, and he was on the mic, and he called me out because I was undefeated and said he'd take my undefeated record and this and that. So that's where it started, and then just some internet beef, just a little stuff here and there. I'm excited for 13 days, and then we get to be in the cage across from each other, and no more words, we get to finally handle it. So I'm
Yeah,
excited.
I'm kind of torn on this fight because I do like the matchup. I think we're really going to see who the better prospect is in this fight. I mean, you both have undefeated records, like you mentioned, but I am surprised the UFC put this together just with the fact that in some ways you're killing off a prospect here. Were you surprised that it came to fruition because the UFC doesn't usually do that?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if the UFC wanted to do it, but because he was asking, and then I was sitting there injured watching, and then seeing my name get called out, and I was like, okay, well, I got to fight him now. I think we both asked for it, and that's kind of why. I honestly don't think they probably wouldn't have put us together. We probably would have been fighting two other veterans or something, I would assume. But I don't know. It's one of those fights where we were going to eventually fight sooner or later, so we're just going to get some questions answered a little sooner than later.
And what I like about this matchup too is that you guys were both high level in your regions. I mean, you were tearing it up on the California scene. He was the NEF champion in New England. So obviously there's for those who've been paying attention to both your careers, this is kind of like a dream matchup. How do you feel like you match up against him in this fight?
Surprisingly, I feel like I matched up really well. When he called me out, it was a little surprising to me. I understand why he would, because he probably thinks I get tired. He probably thinks he could take me down and get me on the ground. But I honestly, I don't think he'll be able to take me down once. That's why I'm so confident in the matchup. Like, I've been looking around on the internet and I found like Tapology. I'm like the underdog, like 85 to 90%. That's just been fuel for me. It's just been lit a fire under my ass because I'm excited, bro. Like, it's one thing when people support me and believe in me. It's a whole different ball game when someone's doubting me and doesn't believe in me. For some reason that motivates me more. So I'm excited to go out there and shock a bunch of people and show why I'm undefeated, and show why I believe I can win this fight. Because if he can't take me down, he's gonna be forced to strike with me, and then we'll see how that goes for him. But I think he'll panic once I stop his first few takedowns, and I fight with a lot of pressure, and I plan on pressuring him from bell to bell.
Who've been some of your main training partners for this camp?
A lot of the long guys on our team, a lot of long jiu-jitsu guys and wrestlers. I can't say too many specific. Like me and Andre Feely were fighting on the same card. We've been working like side by side and together a lot for this camp. Chris Holdsworth, obviously, Darren Elkins, even Clay Guida. I've been getting rounds with him. They're like really good wrestlers, so if I could stop their takedowns, I'd most likely be able to stop at 35ers. And Manny, Manny's known for his jits, not his wrestling, but his wrestling's pretty decent. But I train with Team Alpha Male, and we have like the best wrestling, the best scrambling, and some of the best ground game out there, in our weight class at least.
Yeah, no, I definitely can't argue with that. You got the all-star team over there when it comes to the lighter weight classes, which is great. How did you link up with Terphouse? Because this is a pretty cool partnership. We think linking up with Brandon.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, I just seen like he was with my boy supporting Fluffy and Max Griffin.
Oh yeah, and how do you know Fluffy Hernandez as well? I was trying to wonder the connection there.
Yeah, so we trained together when we were younger. We kind of like grew up in the scene together, and both like Mexican American fighters. We always had respect, and we're pretty close. He's like one of my like best friends, like family, And Max too. We're just all from the same region, and the NorCal region. We all support each other and stick together always. And honestly, through them, I met him, and I seen them like giving him shout outs, and I eventually like reached out and talked to him to see if he would be interested in working, and it's been a great partnership ever since. He's a big part of my camp and staying healthy, keeping my brain healthy and keeping my inflammation and swelling down in training camp. Recovery, it's one of the biggest things in our sport.
Yeah, what are you using right now? I know some guys, like I think it's Max Griffin sort of likes the cream. What do you like as far as recovery and what you're using during training camp?
Yeah, so I'm using a lot of the lotion and a lot of the obviously the tinctures. And then at night, I have insomnia. So at night, I like the cartridges as well, something because they help me. But obviously, I have to slow down closer to the fight, because the testing and all that. So, but pretty much all their products, bro. Like even the bath bomb, I took one of those and it was amazing, man. It was like a Epsom salt bath on steroids.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, because sleep's important. We don't think of that too much, but even the CBD stuff, you get like a great sleep. I took some, actually had some Terphouse last night, and I had like one of those like wild dreams too, where like it's really vivid and stuff, and that's again that helps with sleep, which is awesome. So
yeah, that's that deep REM sleep. That's what you need. Sometimes the THC can block that a little bit. I've studied from Joe Rogan, but the CBD will help a lot with that, because that's when you're dreaming, that's when your body's most recovering. So that's really important.
There you go. Yeah, no, I agree. Who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
Right now I have Joey Rodriguez, Karrion Fitzgibbons, and Danny Castillo. Last call.
Oh, yeah, of course. I know. Last call. Good guy. How do you see this fight playing out on February 17th?
Honestly, the first bell's going to ring, and I just see me coming out and stalking him, getting him on his heels, and then I assume he's going to shoot desperately, like his life depends on it. And his life is going to depend on it because I'm going to be coming and, I'm going to try to knock him unconscious in there. So I feel like he's going to be fighting for survival, trying to get that takedown, And if he doesn't and he strikes with me, that's good for me. That's my world, I've been training at Combat Sports Academy too now. And I feel like my Muay Thai and striking has evolved and matured so much since my last year. I'm like so excited to show my gains.
Where do you feel like a win over Bermudez puts you? And I imagine the plan is to stay as active as possible just to create some momentum with missing all of last year.
Oh, yeah, man. A win over Bermudez, well, he's 13-0. That speaks for itself. He's obviously really talented and really good prospect. So I'm hoping it shoots me up in the rankings. After this, I already know who I want to fight, though. Like, I don't know if they'll give it to me, but I want to fight Ricky Simon. So my first two fights in the UFC will be against rivals. One of them's 13-0. Ricky's 14-1, fighting Ronnie Yaya. I think he can win that fight and be 15-1. That'll look great on my resume if I get both those wins under me, and then hopefully break top 15, top 20. And I plan on having another fight or two this year. and staying healthy. Like you said, I want to be active since I took all of 2018 off because my nose, and then my ankle. Like God.
Yeah. It's good to see you back, Benito. Great talking to you, man. Always enjoy you taking the time. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you have any sponsors or shout outs, the floor is yours, man.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, all my social media pretty much at Savage_530, and then on Facebook, Benito Lopez MMA.